today I'm gonna make red and green salsa. What you're gonna need is you're gonna need some cumin, oregano, cilantro, some Anaheim chilies, some Seranos, lime, tomato, onion, garlic, and some chicken bouillon. I'm gonna roast all of these. I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. The only things I'm not gonna roast are gonna be the limes, but I'll show you how I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so to make my life easier, I'm gonna cut the onions in quarters. I'm just honing my my knife right now, so it's sharp. A sharp knife is a safe knife. You can do it however you're comfortable doing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the ends off of all my onions. Cut it in half. Take the skin off. Take the skin off. And then cut it in half again so they're quartered. And I'm going to do that on all 3 onions because I'm going to do about an onion and a half in each salsa. Sometimes it'll peel like that. If it does, you can continue peeling it. I'm going to. You can save all these scraps from the onions to make a stock out of it. I don't do that. I'm really bad at not making my own stock. These onions are strong. They're making me cry. Last one. This one didn't do it. Cut it in half. Make sure you keep your hands out of the way so you don't cut yourself. Remember, you don't want to do that because it's not fun. I have definitely cut myself and I have gotten stitches for it. So these are really strong onions. I suggest keeping a bowl around that you could put your trash in. I didn't this time, but I normally do. You can cut it like that. And then back here I have my tomatoes on my little comal that I make my tortillas on. So I'm going to put these on there as well. This is just going to help them roast a little bit better because this is how I roast them. I just try to squeeze everything on there so that way I don't have to do it multiple times. Makes life easier. Whoa. If that happens, it's okay. So, and then you have your serranos. These are both gonna go in each of the salsas. I'm gonna cut the tips off because again, it makes my life easier when I'm making the salsa. This one is gonna be hot. It smells hot, and that's what I want. I'm gonna put these on here as well. And I am gonna turn my heat up. I'm gonna turn my stove on to high and just let it go. I'm gonna get rid of all of these and then I'll be right back. I don't know if you could hear it, but in the back over there, my chilies and all that, my onions and tomatoes are sizzling away. I'm gonna start roasting my Anaheim chilies. How I do that, so I don't have to go outside and do it, is I just turn all of my burners on, just because why not use the whole stove? This back one is a very small burner, so I can only get 2 on it. I just put them on there, just like this. And then these ones I can normally, just depending on the size, this one's huge, I can probably only put those there. I got some really big ones this time, but I just put them on here and I roast them until they are charred on all sides. I'm going to let them char a little bit and I will show you what it's going to look like. I use tongs to flip it because I don't want to burn myself. I don't know where my tongs are right now. But I will show you what they look like, what you want them to look like. So I have these all roasting. This is the char you want, but you want it all over. So I kind of just slowly flip it as we go. The same with the onions, the tomatoes, and the serranos. You can use jalapenos if you want. I want it hot this time, so I'm using serranos. And I'm not taking the seeds out. And if you use the Seranos because you like the flavor, you could take the seeds out, most definitely, just however you want to eat it. I like the char like this on the tomatoes. The onions are getting pretty caramelized. I'm gonna turn these. I'll show you right now. Be sure you wash all of your stuff before you start cooking. I know that we're roasting and it will kill the germs, but we still want to wash all of our fruits and vegetables before we cook with them or eat them. I mean, tomatoes are fruit, so. And then, so just continuously turn these. You see, that's a good char right there. I gotta kind of arrange this that way that side gets it. I'm gonna turn this one again. These are pretty big ones, so I'm gonna have to do it for quite a bit of time. I'm not gonna make you watch the whole thing because it's not that entertaining. But that's what it looks like, and then I'll show you when it's completely done what's next. So as you roast, the same with your serranos and your onions and your tomatoes, you're gonna want to put them in a bowl, but only with these ones, you're not gonna peel them. So I feel like these are all just about done. The skin will start to peel off the tomato, as you can see right here. That's okay, you can just discard it. So my onions are done, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 6 in this bowl and 6 in another bowl, just because half are for my red salsa and half are for my green salsa. You don't necessarily have to roast all sides. You roast it to how you like it. This is just how I'm doing it right now because I don't want it too roasted. That's the char that I like to get on it. These serranos are almost done. So this one is done. I'm gonna put it there. That one needs to roast there. That one's done. This one is done as well. This one just needs to get charred on that side a little bit. I am just about happy with what my tomatoes look like. They just gotta go a little bit longer. Here is I'm just putting this in the fire so it chars, just because it's not touching it the way I want it to. And there's the char you want on it. Put it in here, put the lid on. I'm not gonna close the lid, so that way I could just continue to put them in there as they're done charring. So here I have set up my food processor. What I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna take my chilies and throw them in there. This one is not supposed to be here. I'm also gonna put my onions and my tomatoes in there, as well as some cilantro. Just gonna throw it all in there like this. It should all fit. If not, then you could do it in batches. This is how I let it cool a little bit, so that way I don't burn myself. I'm actually gonna cut my tomatoes. I'm just gonna do it in the bowl just because it'll make my life easier. So just cut them. You can cut them in half, you can cut them in quarters. Just be careful when you're doing it so you don't cut yourself. I just almost stabbed myself, so cutting them in half like I said, and then I'm gonna add them in here. They fit a lot better when they're cut. So to my food processor, I'm also gonna add the juice of 1 lime. I use a juicer, it's easier. You get most of the juice out. You know what? I'm gonna add both of the whole thing. I'm also gonna add, have much oregano left. I'm only gonna add a little bit of oregano because I don't have much left, so about half a tablespoon. You can add as much or as little as you want. You don't even have to put it in if you don't want. Sorry, my dog hears noise. And then I'm also gonna add about a teaspoon of cumin. You can leave this out if you want as well. And then I'm also gonna add about a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. All of these you can add as much or as little as you want, or you can leave them out. It's just how I like to make it. And then I like a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna add about 2 heaping tablespoons in, about that much. It may seem like a lot, but it's kind of not. And then you're gonna add salt to taste. I'm not gonna use pepper, but you can use pepper if you want. You can add a little bit now, and then once it's blended, you can add more if you feel it needs more. And then I'm gonna take like half of my cilantro that I have over here that I showed in the beginning. I'm gonna throw in stems and all. And then put the top on. See if it will work with me or if it's gonna fight. It normally fights with me, but it's okay. Oh, no, see, got that. Close it. I'm gonna pulse it. It's kind of dry for me, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water.
But I can't take it out.
This is the consistency that I like for my salsa, as well as my husband. I don't want to add any more seasonings. I like the way it is now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it and put it in the fridge and let it get cold, and I will enjoy it. But you can definitely add, take away any of the seasonings that I put in. And right now would be when you would put more salt if you wanted more salt. Remember, you can always add more. You can never take away. Just keep that in mind when you're making anything, so you don't make it too salty or too whatever. So right here I just have a cookie sheet, and then I have my Anaheim chilies that have been roasted. Back here I have some water. I'll show you what that's going to be for. This is my least favorite part of doing this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Anaheim chili. You can use the back of a knife, whatever is easiest, and you're going to peel your chilies. Sometimes it doesn't work. So you're just going to go through and you're going to peel all of the charred part off. I know you might think that you're just, what's the point of roasting them if you're just going to take all the char off? But trust me, you want to take it off, otherwise it'll be too bitter. What the water is for is you wet your hand, and it'll help you peel the chilies a little bit better, and the char doesn't stick to you, so just keep doing that. You can also take a paper towel. I have one right here. See, it's stuck to me. Take a paper towel and just pretty much wipe it off. And that's why you put it in a bowl with the lid, or cover it with foil, or put it even in a bag, a paper bag. It helps to steam them, so that way the skin comes off easier. If you have a little bit left on there, that's fine. It's not gonna be too bad, but you want to get it off for the most part. And you also want to cut the top off. Just for this, I'm gonna cut these little and put it in my food processor, and then I will bring you back and show you what it looks like when it's done. So in my food processor, I added the Anaheim chilies, the Seranos, the onions, and I'm gonna add the juice of 1 lime, just like last time with the red salsa. I also added a 1/2 cup of water. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of cilantro, about the same amount as the last time. maybe a little bit more. I like a little bit more of my green salsa. Again, I'm going to use the stems and all. Just going to rip it in half, stick it in there, and then do a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. I'm going to do about a half a tablespoon of some oregano. A teaspoon of cumin, as well as 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic. I use the pre-minced garlic because it's easier for me. I don't like mincing garlic. The texture just grosses me out when I'm mincing it myself. You can definitely do fresh garlic. It's just as good. Put your lid on. Let's see if I can get it this time just right. The cilantro is just fighting me. Okay, put it on. And then again, you're gonna mix it up just like you did last time, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So this is how the consistency that I wanted it. I added a little more salt just because it needed a little more, and I also ended up adding a total of 2 cups of water just because it was really thick. You might, if you make it, you might want to add in some more of the chicken bouillon. I like it the way I have it. Also, I leave the seeds in my Anaheims. You can take them out and they won't be in your salsa, obviously. But I like to leave them in because of the spice, if there's any in them. But that's your salsa. Enjoy both of them.